All right, welcome back to the NFL show here on talkSPORT. And this Sunday night, we bring you live and exclusive UK radio coverage of Sunday Night Football as the Atlanta Falcons take on the Minnesota Vikings. I'm delighted to say, ahead of this one, linebacker for the Atlanta Falcons, Kaden Elliss, joins us. Kaden, how are you doing, brother?
I'm blessed. How are you today?
Yeah, I cannot complain at all. To be fair, I am so immersed in being back in the football season. The longest off season in all of sport has felt like the longest one this year. So I'm delighted to be back, and you must be delighted to be back out there and doing what you love.
I completely agree. It's a long off season, and there's times where that seems nice, and then there's other times where let's just get back and play some ball. So I'm glad to be back playing.
Talk to me a little bit about week one, disappointing result, particularly the way it kind of happened when it looked like you may have an opportunity to win that game. But now you've been back, you've watched the film, you've had a chance to self-scout. What did you make of the defense's performance?
There's some things I really liked. I love the way we started. Came out with some good 3-and-outs. We were able to get the ball back to our offense quick. I loved how fast we were playing, whether it was chasing guys down for tackles or flying around and getting PBUs. And something I look forward to is us turning those PBUs into interceptions because we got our hands on a lot of balls, myself included. We just got to finish making the play. So a good play goes to a great play, and all of a sudden the game changes. So, but at the end of the day, I love the way we were flying around. We played fast, and that's what I'm excited about.
It's really funny. That's the one thing I had in my notes was the opportunity was there. I watched it back and you're just going, one or two of those come off and suddenly you're talking about a whole different ball game.
Whole different ball game. You could. It's tough. That's the way the sport goes, and you gotta capitalize on your opportunities. And we'll take the keloids, we'll take the scars for this game, and we'll use them to push us further throughout the rest of the season.
One player actually I want to ask about in particular on that very front, because when you talk about those opportunities, you see the box score, and it wasn't a game I watched live on Sunday. I watched it back, and you saw rookie Xavier Watts, 3 near interceptions, pass breakups, and you think, oh, that's got to be so frustrating. But I went back and I watched the All-22, and I have to say, his anticipation, his instincts, I'm like, it's not going to be long before that young man is turning those into interceptions because he was close on 3 occasions.
Oh, it's not going to be long. I've been so impressed with him from the moment he got here. Obviously, you see the athleticism, but then you got pads on, and as soon as the pads came on, you could just tell his feel for the game. And we already have Jesse back there, and his feel is right up there with the best in the NFL. And now to have a young guy that's getting to learn under him, but also has that natural feel to the game, well, that's dangerous to have 2 of those back there, and quarterbacks beware.
It's obviously a unit that had a huge amount of investment this offseason, spending the equivalent of basically 3 first-round picks on your pass rush in James Pierce and in Jalen as well. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen from those guys, because it did feel like that was a glaring thing this unit needed, right?
Yeah. Man, I could talk about camp and OTAs and all that, but I'll go to just 2 plays I have from both of them in the game. There's one play, I forget how they got it, but the ball got on the perimeter to our defensive left, and James Pierce was on our defensive right, and he just let that 4.4 speed go. And that receiver is lucky he went down early because, oh my goodness, he was flying speed. And there's another one, Baker escaped. We had a 5-man pressure. I was rushing. I fell. Come on, Kaden, don't fall. But Jay Walk, was able to disengage off his block, and Baker went and got the first down. He was going, but he could have gotten a touchdown. And Jay Walk just flew. And that's one thing that I just love about those 2 guys is how much speed they add to our defense. Obviously, they're going to continue to polish their rush, and I think they can both become some of the best pass rushers in the NFL. But just the speed that they have, the speed that it gives you to make up for mistakes is a beautiful thing, and well worth the 3 first-round picks.
Has that been like the push from Raheem Morris and from Jeff Ulbrich? Because this is why I think they were such intriguing picks, is they're both clearly really high upside guys, like both got players I really liked coming out, but neither of them were your typical kind of, you're going to put them in a 4-down pass rush situation and expect them to win one-on-one. And they're both guys who can be very toolsy, but I don't know. I felt like you were saying about them flying around and stuff, I was so fascinated to watch your defense because I was just intrigued to how you were going to mesh this all together. A lot of talent there, but it doesn't feel like a prototypical defense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And I think, you look at how this defense has been built, not only just from this year with Brick, but you've got influences from all sorts of places. You look at the different coaching staff. I mean, from Ra and his LA defense, we got some of that in there, and you got what Brick has been doing, and there are some good things we kept from 2 years ago with Nielsen, and some things from Jimmy. Like there's been things that, I mean, I really credit Brick. He came in, he said, all right, what do these guys do well, and what do I know? And Ra has his piece into it, and I think it makes us a little unpredictable, which is good. But I think my favorite thing about it again goes back to just the speed. Like we're fast all over the field, like from position A to position Z. Like everybody's fast, everybody's got speed, and so put us in whatever, and we're gonna fly to the ball.
Something you can certainly say about yourself as well. So looking to year 7, I know we're already a game in, but where do you feel you are personally, and what do you feel like you need to step up this year, you need to achieve, you need to push on?
I just feel primed to dominate. I'm just excited. I'm excited to go out there and keep making plays. I feel primed. I feel ready to go, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all facets of my life. And in this game, I'm just excited to go out there and make plays, play with my brothers, and give it my all.
Not that I would deem in any way that I would be allowed to call them Ra and Brick, but having those two very strong-headed coaches coming in, we saw obviously Jeff Ulbrich worked under Robert Saleh previously, who was another guy like that, but two guys who have both love pressure, both love to bring guys like some fun sim stuff, some fun wild stuff in there, but also come from different backgrounds. So how have you seen that marry? How have you seen those guys work together? Has it been a little bit of A, a little bit of B, or has one taken over and really pushed their system? How's it kind of come together?
Yeah, I mean, Brick, yeah, this is old Brick's defense, and he's got the final say on this stuff, and he's putting together some awesome things. But even from my first moment working with Raj, it's really cool seeing how wonderful of a CEO he is, and how great he is at just overseeing the offense, defense, special teams, and using his years and years of expertise and coaching to impact one player, myself included, to the entire scheme, and just the confidence he breathes, and also the challenges he'll face or present to us. It's just really cool seeing how he really overarches everything and is there as support when he needs to be, and the challenges when he needs to. But he's just great at that. So, Brick's putting together something special, and, Ra's just the best sounding board you could possibly have. That's also the boss.
Love that. Obviously, you're in the defensive meeting rooms. That side of the ball we'll inevitably focus on, but I do want to ask you about a couple of guys on the other side of the ball, because you've got a few of them, right? There's some there's some talent on that offensive side, but just Michael Penix going into year 2. Obviously, there's a lot of intrigue around this matchup this weekend, with it being the two national championship quarterbacks going head to head and their history. But what have you seen from him in terms of growth, in terms of responsibility? I was impressed with what we saw on Sunday. Similar to the whole team, I think we're building to something rather than it being there now. But what have you made of his performances and his approach to this year?
Man, he's awesome. I love the work that he puts in. I love the quiet swagger he has, and I love that when it comes time, whether it's fighting in training camp or diving on 4th down, he lets the swag go. He lets the confidence fly, and dude, he's awesome. I could sit here and say a lot of things about what I think will happen in his future. At the end of the day, it's up to him and the Lord. But man, I'm excited, and I love that he's my quarterback, and I wouldn't have anybody else.
I love that. Absolutely love that. And just as the guy who's led this team in tackles, a guy who knows what it is to fly around, a guy who knows what it is to have to face someone one-on-one in open space, how do you tackle Bijan Robinson?
Teammates. the sideline. That's my dude, man. He's a special player. His cut is insane. He's also got an insane amount of explosiveness and speed. I mean, that's why there's 11 of you.
And it's going to need at least 8 or 9 to take him down most times. Look, finally, just looking forward to this game this weekend. What have you seen from the Vikings looking back on Monday Night Football, looking back on a first performance for this rookie quarterback, like what they put up on tape offensively that kind of has you excited for Sunday?
Yeah. Going all the way back to last year, I think it was 21-21 going into the fourth quarter. And it was a fun team to play, a talented team, a good team. And obviously, same head coach, he does a great job over there. And now we get to get him this year, and seeing them on film with the young quarterback. I was impressed with a lot of things he did, a lot of things that they did. They were able to come back in that game and make it happen. I'm just excited to play this game, man. Let's go.
I'm hyped to watch. It's not that it's one for the purist. I think it's going to be a really fun game like last year. But if you like defensive scheming, if you like to see things thrown at the wall, if you like to see people fly around, I think there's going to be a lot of that on both sides of the ball. So this is kind of football I love to watch.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Love that. Look, appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Kaden, for joining us. Best of luck on Sunday night. I'm obviously going to say that to whoever we speak from the Vikings as well, but we mean it with you, obviously. And the best of luck for the rest of the season.
Appreciate you, Will. God bless.